The police force that stops you today was designed in 1861, and it was not designed to serve you, it was designed to hold you. After 1857, British power in northern India had come close to breaking, and Britain had two working models of policing to choose between. One was London's, constables on foot with a truncheon and no rifle, whose power rested on the public putting up with them. The other was the Irish Constabulary, armed, barracked, commanded from Dublin Castle, built to hold a territory that did not want to be held. Britain looked at India, and the force it built there took after Ireland. That choice became the Police Act of 1861. And here is the part that should be uncomfortable on both sides of the border. When the British left, neither India nor Pakistan tore it up. In India, that act is still on the statute book, and most of the states that wrote their own law copied its shape. Pakistan replaced it in 2002, and then, province by province, took most of it back. So this is not only a story about what an empire built, it is a story about what two free countries decided to keep. Start with the problem Britain actually had. In 1858, the Crown took India from the company, and the first question was not how to govern it, it was how to hold it. So a police commission was appointed, and in 1860 it reported. Britain already ran two police forces, and they were built on opposite ideas. In London, Robert Peel's Metropolitan Police walked unarmed and answered through two commissioners to the Home Secretary. The theory was that a police force keeps its power only for as long as the public allows it. In Ireland, the Irish Constabulary was armed, lived in barracks, and answered upward to Dublin Castle. It would not be given the word royal until 1867 as a reward for putting down the Fenian Rising. The commission said it drew on both. What it built came out looking Irish. Sindh had been policed on the Irish plan since 1843. Bombay and Madras had copied Sindh, and the 1861 Act sits on that line. So what did they actually write? The Police Act of 1861 and its architecture is the whole story. Superintendence of the police was placed with the government. The commission called it a civil force, and on paper it was. It was also ranked, drilled, and armed like one. Section 4 put a whole province under an inspector general and put the district police under the general control and direction of the district magistrate. And here is what is missing, which matters more than what is there. There is no mechanism in that act by which the public being policed can hold the police to account. No independent complaints body, no protected tenure for an officer who refuses an unlawful order. The police were made answerable to the executive, and to nobody else. For a state that expected resistance, that was not an oversight. That was the specification. Now the ledger, because that is what this channel is for. The force was paid for out of Indian revenue, land tax, salt, excise, and Section 15 let a government declare a district disturbed, move extra police in, and send the bill to the people living there. And it was used that way. Through the decades of the freedom movement, the same constabulary was sent against political meetings, against processions, against strikes. Lahore, the 30th of October 1928, police broke up a march against the Simon Commission. Lala Lajpat Rai was beaten and died 3 weeks later, and the power to license a procession, or refuse one, was Section 30 of the same act. Indians funded the instrument, staffed it at every rank below the top, and were policed by it. And it is worth being precise, because precision is the point. An ordinary constable in 1930 was not an occupier. He was a poorly paid Indian in a uniform designed by somebody else, working inside a structure he did not write. Then 1947 arrives, and here is the choice that was not made. Both new countries inherited the act, and both kept it. In India, it simply stayed law. Some states later wrote their own, and wrote them to look much the same. A National Police Commission sat from 1977, produced 8 reports, and most of it was shelved. In 2006, the Supreme Court, in the Prakash Singh case, issued 7 binding directions. The last full audit, in 2021, found not one state fully complying, and that was compliance on paper. Pakistan went further, at least on paper. The Police Order of 2002 repealed the old act and built in public safety commissions, complaint authorities, and a 3-year tenure for police chiefs. Within 2 years, the same government amended most of that away, before any province had been asked. Then the provinces went their own ways. Sindh brought the 1861 Act back for 8 years. Baluchistan wrote a new law in 2011 that reads like the old one. Punjab kept the order and kept trimming it. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa went the other way, and in 2017 gave its own force more independence than the order ever had. Close the account. The uncomfortable finding is not that an empire built a police force to control a population. Empires do that. The finding is that the design outlived the empire, in 2 countries that fought to be free of it for the better part of 80 years. And the reason is not that anyone forgot. A police force answerable to the executive and not to the public is useful to whoever holds the executive. That is what kept it alive. This is Tareekh ka Hisaab, history audited. Hisaab Abhi Baki hai.